I just feel like we are surrounded in this world by bullshit.
So how can you know what's real and what's not? Science versus. That's how. We answer questions like, does anti-aging skincare actually work? And what is your true personality type? And to answer these questions, we don't use opinions. We dive into the scientific studies, talk to the experts, and put it in a podcast that I know you are gonna love. Listen to Science Versus on Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by Snapple. Want to know another Snapple fact? The first hot air balloon passengers were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. Ridiculous. Check out Snapple.com to find ridiculously flavored Snapple near you.
Oh my God, Adam, Andrew, wake up. Oh
What?
my God,
What?
it's happening.
No.
The biggest guest of all time, the
No.
one you've been waiting for, Adam.
Are you serious? We landed
Yes.
him? Carrot Top?
Yes.
Carrot
Top is showing up.
I knew.
The top.
Oh
the
my
toppy
God.
top.
He'd come around, dude. I knew he'd come
Oh
around.
my God. We're really doing it.
Shit, guys.
What?
I just got a text. Bad news. Mr. Top is in Berlin this morning and unable to join
it.
us.
For the Euro 2024?
Apparently, whatever this acronym is.
That's insane. Well, on the other hand, we do have another guest who needs our help, and they're pretty amazing. It's a great comedian, Morgan Gallo, is going to join us on.
Denver's female Carrot
That is
Top?
true. That's right. What the
Life is a journey, not a destination. And here at Grolic Saves the World, we have always been huge fans of journeys, which is why from now until Labor Day, you can get 30% off all Journey purchases with the promo code GSTW at checkout, which is an incredible deal, but of course does not apply to children's Converse or Vans. Welcome to the Grolic Saves the World. My name's Adam Caton Holland.
My name is Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is a comedy podcast about bettering your world. And what better way to better your world than heading down to your local mall for a cool pair of new sneaks
What
from
is
Journeys.
the Journeys logo? They really committed to that logo too.
Yeah, that was a this is due tomorrow logo, like they were in their car in the parking lot.
It's like some
Yeah,
kid sketched it on a book cover in high school, and they were like, nailed it.
No, at Journeys corporate, there was a kid named Ethan hanging out front hoping to get a job. And they're like, Ethan, sketch something. And he did it. And it's the Journeys little splash logo.
But I won't lie, I've bought a pair of boots there. I bought a pair of nice boots, nice Doc Marten boots there to ride.
Oh, you had a wedding? You had a wedding to go to?
You're like, you guys are already starting in on me. We literally just started the fucking episode. And since 9 a.m. this morning, it has been all hands on deck to hurt me. And I think it's because, well, just shut up for a second. I think it's because I'm in Southern California right now, in sunny Long Beach, California. And I think you both are gels. So I think that's what it is. I'm sensing jealousy. So
Sure.
There's a little jealousy going on. Anytime Ben gets to Long Beach and we can feel his career advancing faster than ours from the entertainment capital of Long Beach, California, we always do sort of get a little bit on edge. And I do have to apologize for coming at you right away.
I would prefer if you would come here and shout it from the top of Signal Hill, if you could.
Nice. I believe that that's a local reference, and I'm just going to assume
is.
you did it.
I did it. You don't know, though, because you don't come to Long Beach. You don't know.
To our two Long Beach
it's
listeners,
an hour away from LA.
It is. It's quite a drive. But this is where I can stay reasonably cheap. So I like it down here, and I like the beach. And a lot of people fishing. A lot of fishermen.
Yeah.
And container ships.
Beach is right there in the name. I like the Ben Roy travel hacks. Going to Chicago, stay in Milwaukee. So much cheaper. You won't believe the hotels.
Yeah, if you're going to LA, Rancho Cucamonga is right there, and you can get yourself a very, very nice duplex in the burbs for about $80 a night.
The word empire is in Inland Empire. It is pretty much an entire kingdom, and you just have to be willing to explore Ontario. Ron, do not give me the wrap it up sign. This is pure
He's riffing
gold.
on the Inland Empire, dude. He's riffing on the Inland Empire.
Ron was
hang
giving
on.
the wrap it up to another podcast that he's running right now concurrently. They were going a little bit long, and I
Two-banger.
appreciate it because that
Classic-
podcast
a
is
classic
That podcast sucks. It's
Friday
insufferable.
morning two-banger is what old Ronnie D is doing right now.
He really is. But he's kind of right. It does apply to our podcast as well because we do have a guest on this episode. And it probably is time we bring in that guest. So please welcome to the Grolic Saves the World, Morgan Gallo, everybody. Welcome, Morgan.
Yay.
Welcome.
Anything about Long Beach you wanted to say when you were sitting politely waiting? Any
Oh
riffs
man,
on Long Beach?
it's so long. You know, what do they do with all the Long Beach in the Long Beach,
Yeah,
man?
there's a
It's
lot
just
of
so
beach.
long.
You had time to think of
You
that
get
riff
it.
while you were
You get
waiting in
it.
the Grolics. In the Grolics Coors Cutter Green Room. That's the-
You get it.
Yep.
That film's gonna be on the floor later.
No.
Course cutter.
No.
Morgan, thank you for joining us. We're happy to have you on the podcast today. I mean, I'm just going to get right to it. A reason why we brought you on the podcast, you're an up and comer in the Denver scene, but you're also touring all over the place. You seem to be rising quickly in stand-up. Is that your perception as well?
Oh, thanks. That's so nice. That's like so nice to hear from someone like you guys. I mean, that's like a huge compliment. Thank you.
Yeah, you seem like you're hustling hard. You're getting out there. You're opening for cool people. It seems like you're doing everything right.
Yeah, I'm just trying to do as much as I can. I just really like comedy, and I just want to work hard at it because it's fun and it's like what I want to do. But I'm also not in a rush. There have been a few times where I felt like I've been in a little too much of a rush to get to a certain level, and I've realized that taking it slow and just worrying about being funnier every day is more important.
Man, that's very cool to hear because you are on a podcast with a bunch of old fucking dudes who are like trying to figure out the new comedy, doing internet clips, all of it, TikTok. Like we all kind of were like, oh, we got really good at comedy. And then the game has changed a little bit, and now it's very much an internet-driven, phone-driven,
Well, Adam-
clip-driven phenomenon.
I'm so dumb. I thought you were talking about another podcast that Morgan did with a bunch of old dudes. I didn't
Oh,
realize
wow.
you were talking about us.
Nobody, it's us.
I do this one where I go and I search for sugar daddies every week. I invite 3 old dudes. I audition them to be my sugar daddy. I haven't found any prospects yet, though.
I love it.
I think I just want to.
That's a good show.
I just want to say that I think Adam and Andrew can speak for themselves on success and trying to still get there.
Probably not.
I think we just talked about it. I'm in Long Beach right now. I'm not far from the pyramid in Long Beach. So I think you guys can shut your mouths.
Andrew and I are figuring out the new model of comedy. Ben's there. Ben's on top.
I'm already
And
here. So, Morgan, yes, I'd love to give you whatever advice you're looking for today. So,
I was getting to a place that I think is actually kind of like insightful. What I was going to say is it's cool to hear Morgan say, I'm really focusing on getting funny every day, doing the job of stand-up comedy, because from my old man screaming on my lawn vantage point, it seems like a lot of people are just like, just get fucking big, just get numbers, just get followers. That leads to butts and seats. You know, obviously you want to get funny as well, but like that's more important. And I think that might be part of why you're here today, sort of asking for advice a little bit, because it strikes me that you're very much succeeding in that realm, online, kind of getting followers, blowing up in that sphere.
Succeeding is a very strong word.
Right. So will you
It's a
tell
very
me,
strong word.
Seceding. Sorry, he misspoke. Seceding from
Seceding.
the United
Taking a
States.
yeah. I don't want to be a part of the
you
union.
tell me, because I don't want to tell you how you're feeling about stand-up, but like you kind of put out on Threads what you put out, which is why we're having you on the pod. So you tell me sort of how you're viewing that double-edged swords of like navigating the internet while also getting good at comedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm really lucky that as someone who's so early into comedy, I've gotten like a little bit of a platform. And honestly, it's kind of just because when I was like a year into comedy, I decided to start posting my comedy, which is probably like a pretty insane thing to do now that I look back on it, because a year into comedy, I mean, what are you really talking about, you know? But I just started posting, and I don't know why or how it happened, but I ended up getting a lot of like men following me, and I don't particularly feel like my comedy is geared towards men. I actually kind of feel like it's geared more towards women, but for some reason the dudes on the internet like it. And it's cool. I feel like having a following has definitely given me some cool opportunities because, you know, if people look up, I don't know, like female comedian in Denver, my name kind of pops up. So it's definitely been cool. But yeah, there's like drawbacks to it. You know, like I can't read any of my comment sections anymore because it affects my mental health. Like I can't interact with certain people, or I have to mentally prepare myself sometimes to log on. So good and bad.
So the creeps are coming at you hard on the internet, right? And that's why you posted kind of what you posted. Do you mind if I read it for our listeners?
Yeah. Go ahead. I want to hear what it sounds like in your voice.
Fair enough. All right. So Morgan posted, and this is what we saw, putting it into the universe now. I am actively going to attempt to try to broaden my social media audience to reach the girlies. I want to joke about the female experience and relate to other women. It's not that I don't appreciate the audience I have now. I'm just tired of everything I post getting sexualized by men. So, Morgan, you posted that. We read that. We said, who better to tackle this than the Grolic Saves the World? You've come to the right place. We are going to help you. In Act 2, we are each going to propose solutions to try to help you navigate this, and you will choose a winner for best advice. We are taking competitive advice to the guest this time. So, we're going to take a quick break to play some ads. If you're on Patreon, you don't even have to hear them. You get ad-free episodes, just one of many perks
of our
God.
Patreon, Adam,
patreon.com.
They get boy crazy.
/Grolic Saves. They get boy crazy. They get the Act 4s. They get it all. If you're not on Patreon, enjoy the targeted ad and think about what that ad says about you. We will be back in 1 minute.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Forget the frustration of picking commerce platforms when you switch your business to Shopify, the global commerce platform that supercharges your selling wherever you sell. With Shopify, you'll harness the same intuitive features, trusted apps, and powerful analytics used by the world's leading brands. Sign up today for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/tech, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/tech.
We are back, everyone, through the magic of podcasting. Moments have elapsed. We are here with Morgan Gallo. Morgan put it out into the universe that she's tired of everything she posts getting sexualized by men. And Morgan, what was it that Ben said that made you
It's fucking childish, Adam.
That? Like what
It's childish. And
he left a comment. He left a comment saying my boobs looked like shriveled apricots, and that was the final straw for me.
Nice.
It was the final straw because I love dried fruit. You know, like how dare you take something that I love? That's
weaponize
ridiculous.
it. How dare I take it and weaponize it?
So immature.
You guys are all just reeking of Long Beach jealousy. That's all I'm getting out of this interaction is that you guys.
I wish our listeners could see you slumped over in a nondescript room, pixelated, bragging.
I've never seen someone look
Long Beach success.
more
the couch going
uncomfortable.
diagonally across the screen.
Yeah, he's so uncomfortable laying down. He looks like he's been shot in the abdomen and has fallen on the couch, but is continuing to podcast.
Well, the show must go on, boys. It was a botched robbery attempt, but I will pod through it.
Ben's gut shot, but he said he's still down to pod. He's a trooper.
But for real, answer the question, Morgan, so that we can move on from my posture.
Yes, chef. Thank you. I don't know, like, kind of how this has happened, but over the course of the last maybe like year, I have had an influx of comments and DMs from men who have just really said like a lot of really inappropriate things about my body. And it seems like they care more about like the prospect of having a chance with me or going on a date with me rather than my comedy. And it's gotten confusing because I don't know how to address that. I don't know how to make men respect me as a comedian versus as like a pretty girl.
Right.
So yeah, I just have kind of been working on figuring out like what kind of content can I put out there that is really authentic to me that women can relate to so that they can come over to this spot, because on Instagram, my following is 92% male.
Whoa.
And so there's
That's
only
more than
8
mine. That's crazy.
Yeah,
And we're like
it's
very
like
much
really
in the
weird.
bro lane. That's wild.
Yeah,
Morgan, can
my
you give
jokes
us
aren't
some
even-
advice on attracting men to our social media? That's why we really had no. Just kidding.
Start shaving your legs. I don't know.
I want to ask Morgan, like, do you understand from a macro level, like, what is your thought? I think the internet is just poison. I'm like, give
sure.
the internet anything, it'll turn it terrible in 10 minutes. You know what? Like, that's kind of how I've come to think of the internet. Is that your view of the internet? Or are you more like, no, this is a cool platform? Because you're way younger than me. Like, that's just my sort of 44-year-old guy vision of it. But I'm curious how you view it and interact with it.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely don't love the internet. I think it's kind of a cesspool of just shit. I mean, I grew up like I had a Facebook when I was like 15, and then I think Instagram became a thing when I was like maybe 16. So it's been in my life for a while, but specifically with comedy, like I've grown to like the internet more in the way that I love that it gives people opportunity. I love that people can promote their business. I love that it can create careers for people and connect people and, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then there's also like, you could post a video of you playing with your dog and then like PETA activists come out of the woodwork to be like, well, actually your dog is being aggressive towards that tennis ball, so you really shouldn't be doing that. Like, and it's pointless. It's like, why does everyone feel the need to say their opinion out loud? So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lost art of just remaining quiet. I mean, we're blessed. We don't get comments like that. I mean, I'm speaking for Adam and Ben, but we don't get really, our inappropriate comments are so few and far between that I can't even imagine, just because we just see it, you know, you could see it on a female friend's post. You can see the comments that start to come in. I cannot imagine like a daily dose of that. When Ben and I got one inappropriate, we've kind of mentioned this before, but we had one person say inappropriate stuff. This person, I'm assuming it's a guy, said he wanted to tie me up and feed me and watch me get fatter. And I was like, I guess I just have to find this guy and kill him. That was
Adam,
my reaction.
Stop laughing.
Yeah.
It really traumatized Andrew.
Sorry, it's terrifying. If it happened to me, I'd be traumatized, but it didn't, so I find it funny. And that is
that was like a next level where it was like, okay, this is.
He wanted to put
like,
me in diapers. Remember, he wanted to put me in diapers, and he kept calling me a fat baby, and he wanted to feed me like a fat baby.
But Ben and I only had that reaction. We're like, I guess we'll find this guy and we'll murder him.
Yeah,
I can't imagine getting comments like that daily on our body, on our like existence. I don't think I could maintain my presence.
Yeah, we're gonna give you advice, but I'm gonna just say it. We're doing this for content. One, because we love you and we think you're very funny and talented, and two, this is for a podcast. But we are, as you know, very clearly men, and I think women are probably better people to
you're
ask
overselling
about
it, Ben.
I don't know if it's that clear.
It's kind of hit or miss. I don't know. Maybe I should go to Long Beach and look for myself.
If you guys want to come to Long Beach and visit me, you are more than welcome. We don't have to continue the anger.
Ben's right. We are coming at this from very much the vantage point of men who have not experienced this, but I do think we are contractually obligated to offer you advice, and you can do with that advice whatever it is that you want. I have some ideas for how to navigate this. Before we get into it real quick, are there any things that you have done so far that you've tried that you're like, this is not working or whatever, so we can avoid those areas?
Well, I have made like some comments about it in like posts before. Like I posted a video one time that was supposed to be funny, and I just recorded like a 2-camera video, and I was like, hey, this is for, I was pretending to like whisper, like, this is for the girls and the gays and the theys, I'm trying to reach you. If you'd like to come to my page, I'd appreciate it, because my following is 90% male, or whatever the percentage was at the time. And it turned into a lot of my male followers unfollowing me and getting upset that I was not appreciative. I mean, some of them even refunded their tickets to shows that they had bought. They were so upset that I was, and so I kind of just fragile. Like after that, I stopped saying anything. It's just like stuff like that. Or I think a few times in my stories, I might have said something like, yesterday I posted a photo of my friend and I normally don't read my comment sections, but I wanted to read that one because I wanted to delete any comments that were about her so that she didn't have to put up with it. And then it ended up being that so many of them were sexual or about the way I look, the way that she looked, that I got so mad I posted on my story about it, which then made a lot of people flock to my comment section and then defend me, which was cool. So it's cool. It just depends.
Jesus, Morgan,
I don't know.
I had no idea it's this bad. I thought you were like, I post photos, guys are creeps and want to like hook up with me. I didn't realize they're like refunding tickets, talking about your friend's body. It just like seems like a constant toxicity exhausting in your phone. Like that fucking sucks.
I mean, I could read you comments that you would be like, wow, this is crazy. And that's why I get frustrated, because I just want to be a comedian.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about my life. I just want to talk about being a woman. I'm not anti-men. I think men are cool. I think men, it sucks that I'm in this position.
Yeah, that's
absolutely
fucking awful. And Morgan, I've also seen you reading DMs dudes will send you. That seems kind of, is that effective? Tell us about that.
I started doing it because I thought it was funny. Like a year or so ago, I was getting so many weird DMs that I, number one, kind of was like, oh, this would be like funny content. Like it's an easy video to make and edit, whatever. And then number two, part of me did want people to see what it was actually like, because I think sometimes other comedians or other folks don't believe me when I tell them that I get this kind of interaction. So yeah, I'll read the DMs, and then so many people will comment and be like, wow, this is crazy. Or like, it usually is met with a reaction of like, wow, yeah, this is like not okay, or yes, keep calling out those men, or whatever. Or I will get more DMs based on the video of a guy being like, I really want to be featured in your DM video. LOL, love you. And that's it. And that's the whole thing.
I hate the world. I'm out. I can't do this podcast anymore. Anything online. I can't. I'm unplugging. Fuck this. Wow,
I'm toxic. Okay. I'm toxic. Don't forget me.
Yeah, exactly.
That is insane.
Okay, well, so those are some active measures you've done with varying degrees of success. Okay, and so the challenge is, how can you stop these dudes from sexualizing you and just take you seriously as a comedian / reach a more female audience?
Or just not dude audience, it sounds like. Just
honestly,
not those dude audience.
Or dudes who are nice and respectful and cool. That would be nice too,
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I guess if there's this magic creature out there.
Andrew, it's you, buddy. It's
How
you.
How dare I think they exist?
So Morgan, just so you know, you've come to us, but this part of the podcast is competitive advice. So you're going to have to choose who gave the best advice. And this is crucial. As much as whatever you're going through, and I'm so sorry, and I feel really bad, whatever, yada, yada, yada. The more important part is determining which of us has won this challenge. That's crucial to the world.
Exactly right.
We want to help you, yes, but more than anything, one of us wants to be the winner. So we're going to give you advice. We're going to tell you what we think. And then at the end, we need you to pick a winner. Now, it may get snippy. I want you to know you're going to worry about the integrity and the strength of our friendship. At points, you'll wonder if we like each other. But I want you to know we don't. So don't worry yourself.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We don't enjoy each other's company. So anyway, we are going to accept this challenge. Challenge accepted. And Adam, what do you have to say? Because you're about to speak, and I can see your look.
I do have to plug one more time Journeys through Labor Day. Promo code Grolic saves the world 30%
This is
off,
not a real promo code, and we're going to get sued.
I want so
we're going
many
to get
people.
sued for the dumbest
so
rip
kids
of all time.
Journey's website.
Those
with
are
this.
very expensive, coveted shoes, and the promo does not cover those. No children's sneaks. Other than that, have fun. GSTW at checkout. Morgan, you have the privilege of telling us who will go first, and we will respect that. So, who would you like to hear the advice from first for how to navigate these waters?
Who's the oldest?
Me.
It's
That's
Andrew,
been
by 13
established.
years.
Okay, I want to give Andrew the floor because he doesn't have as much time.
Thank you.
Sweet burn.
Also,
Morgan's
I'm the
already
current
in.
advice champion, so it would make sense that you would want to go to the person who's best at giving advice on this podcast. So let's just get it over with.
Oh, yeah, right.
There'll be no need to talk to Adam or Ben afterward. My advice for this, and I guess this is not especially creative advice because I think you hear this a lot, but I genuinely think this is good advice when you're dealing with negative interactions with people, is to just not water that garden. Just give them zero energy, zero engagement, zero feedback, because what they want more than anything is some level of interaction. From the tiny amount that I see, which is probably 1% of what you're actually dealing with just on any woman's social media page. These guys crave any level of interaction. It doesn't matter if you're like, thanks for commenting on my top, or if you're like, totally inappropriate, don't comment on my top. It doesn't seem to matter to them at all, so long as they get a reaction from you. And so I feel like just not giving them anything at all, some of them may like wither and die on the vine, so to speak, if they're just not going to get any level of interaction and they're just kind of like yelling their stupid shit into nothing. I mean, I think that's really hard to do. I have a hard time ignoring people who say dumb shit. I want to like yell at them. I want to call them out. But I think sadly, we have this whole layer of culture that thrives on that, of being called out, of being pointed out as being like, hey, that's fucked up. They're fine with that. And in fact, they crave that attention. So I guess my advice would be to just try to, like you're doing, like put it out into the universe that you don't want those dudes as fans. Don't engage with them at all, but do engage with the people that you want to be viewing your stuff, the people who are making positive comments, the people who are being fun and great. Give those people all the energy you have the capacity for, and hopefully maybe just the way you distribute your interactions with them will help start tilting that ratio in your favor. That's
It was a very Gen X response of you. I appreciate that. I like that a lot.
You got it.
I like it.
Gen X in the sense of like, it's ineptitude.
No, finish it.
No, just a second. Gen X in its ineptitude in the fact that it means approximately nothing, that it's void of any real substance. Sure, Gen X, I get it. And I see it. And
you're just mad you've got nothing to say.
But it's amazing because that you think Andrew is Gen X because he's actually part of the greatest generation. These are the people that stormed the beaches of Normandy.
I was rounding down. I didn't want to be rude.
Thank you.
Morgan, when Andrew called a shirt a top,
yes.
Did you picture him buying it for his sweetheart in 1947 like we did, or
yeah, like for some, I haven't heard anyone call a shirt a top, like except for my mom in the Target dressing room when I was 12. Yeah. So like I'm like, wow, what a great word, man. This guy has a great vocabulary. It's great.
Mm-hmm. I go for the most basic thing it can be: top, bottom. I call all my pants bottoms, all my shirts tops.
Smash
my shoes are
it's labeled
bottomist. My shoes are bottomist.
Yep.
My hats are toppist.
Yep. Oh, that was amazing.
Okay.
All right, who's next? Who's next? Both these guys suck, so there's really no right answer.
I know.
Stupid
Hey,
mouth. You already
Andrew,
fucking ruined
come
her
on.
day. No, you already ruined it. You already got your chance to say nothing. Tops, bottoms, whatever. You know.
Yeah, I agree with Ben. I do agree with
fucking
Ben.
Dumb.
Well, Adam's screen name is ACH4Prez with a Z.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
then Ben's screen name is just Ben. So
Right.
I'm going to go with the more creative option. Let's go with ACH next.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
Have you thought about covering your body and face so as not to offend God?
You know what? Yes. And I'm in the market for a burqa, but, they only sell those to people who can prove their religion. So
Well,
Okay.
check out Journeys Dubai. Now, if you use the Grolix promo code. Yeah, no, Adam, go ahead.
So this might not be conducive to building an audience. So take that with what you will. But I am probably, maybe Andrew and I are like the biggest internet hater on this pod. And I often take breaks from social media, and I'm often very frustrated by social media, and just like I have, settings for how much time I can be on there and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm trying to get rid of it as much as I can while using it to promote comedy like all of us. But I just have a zero bullshit tolerance. Like the only thing that's I can even think that we might get that you don't get is we will get a lot of guys, and maybe you get this as well, who want to be our friend. So the way that they think they're our friend is by like talking shit to us. And so they'll just come at you with like this ball busting, just way you would interact with a friend you've known for years because you love that friend and you have the goodwill between each other to fuck with each other. They'll come at you like that hard and not even well. They're not being funny. And then they're like, what? Why didn't you comment? That was funny. I'm just like busting your balls. That's what like comics do. And you're like, yeah, that is what comics do. And you're not a comic and I don't know you. So fuck off. So like I used to try to like talk those people off the ledge and be like, hey, I just didn't really appreciate that. Like, thanks for the fandom or whatever, but like, don't come at me like that. Now, if anyone does anything that bothers me a little bit, even if it's like kind of a shitty comment and they're trying to start a conversation about the issue, I'm not there for that. I'm just there to post my shit and disappear. So I just block. And if it's like remotely bad, I report. So like, I don't care I look at this thing as a thing that should only help my business or bring me joy. And so the second it like makes me upset a little bit, I purge it. I'm gone. So that might cost you thousands of followers. I don't know. But I don't really care because I don't want those people.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because that's kind of like what I did for the month of April. I went through a phase where I got really burnt out from touring, and then I was like, I need to just go home. Like, I don't want to be alone in a hotel room every weekend anymore. And so I like canceled all my April shows, and I just sat at home and I just like painted and didn't look at social media, and it was so awesome. And then when I came back, I kind of instated those rules of like, okay, I'm not going to read my comment section anymore. I'm not going to go digging through my DMs unless it's for that funny video. I'm not going to spend time like actively looking for something to make me upset. But it is hard because like what you say about the thing about guys wanting to be your friend, I kind of get that in a way where it's like, there are a lot of guys who will be like, oh, I'd love for you to come do a show in Phoenix. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'd love to do a show in Phoenix. But then it's like, they're like, oh, I'd love for you to come to Phoenix and then take you out for a drink. And it's like, well, no, I just want to work. Like I'm not here. And he's like, oh, well, you're a comedian. You should be open to hanging out with people. Or, oh, you should be flattered that I'm even asking you. And so, yeah, I'm kind of at the same point where I just block people if I end up reading their comment or seeing something, and it's just like I just don't even deal with it.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, and with guys like that, I would just say like, sign up for the email list. You'll know when I'm in Phoenix. You know what I mean? Like, or just don't even like entertain that it could be more than anything than you being a butt in a seat. Like, nah, dude, sign up for the email list. You'll see when I come through your town, and like it's almost like a auto response. Like that's all I do to these fucking people. Can I ask you, when you took that break for April and came back, had your followers decreased? Had they increased? I'm always curious.
Actually, it just kind of stayed the same. I was kind of surprised. I thought it would go down, but what's cool about at least Instagram specifically and like I guess Meta is that your videos kind of live for a long time. Like you post a clip, but then it like lives for weeks and weeks and people still see it. So it was kind of nice to just not have to worry about it.
We haven't found that to be the case, but good for you. No, that's it. If like that is my straight advice. If something bothers you at all, even a twinge of like, I didn't like it, block, gone. Just eliminate it from your life. And I'm sure managers and agents would be like, no. But like, I don't really care because it's not about them. It's about you and your mental health and the type of person you want to come see your shit anyway.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing with the videos for you guys is like, have you tried showing more of your body?
Ben has.
Yeah, I have. And they resent me for it. Adam and Andrew resent me for it because it's really been a windfall for me. And that's why I can afford expensive trips to
Long Beach.
To Long Beach and San Pedro. Beach. Sometimes I've been known to go to Irvine. Yes, I stay mostly south of the city. But
it's almost as if you're setting up strategic points around Los Angeles to look at it from every angle.
This is my foreign policy.
Are you a cargo short salesman? Because that's the only that's the only industry I can think of.
Ben Summers in the Inland Empire just slinging cargo shorts.
The Rancho. I've got a pair of, they're called the Cucamongas. Now they're half pant. They're also half running short. So it's
mid bottoms. Yes. I call those mid bottoms.
Mid bottoms.
Sure. Okay. Well, that was my advice. Ben, your advice, please.
I'm going to sound the earnestness horn for the first time this episode. Hey, Morgan, if you know what the earnestness horn is, producer Ron sounds it. And we lift the drawbridge from Riff City so that no one is allowed to riff and make fun of it. It just lets you know that this is an honest, earnest comment.
Yeah, no riffing on it. It sucks. I hate
I just don't want it to get creepy. That's why, more than anything.
Okay.
For listeners who aren't watching this, Morgan, you are a very beautiful person. You are a very pretty human being. I think you're also very articulate and very intelligent. And I also think you are very talented. I think you are a very strong, opinionated comedian. I know. This is why we sound the earnestness horn, so you know I'm not leading into sarcasm or saying something. I think there has to come a choice right now. This is the game that's being played. I think you have to trudge your way through some bullshit to be able to get the power to be able to control what you want. I think Eliza Schlesinger went through this. I think Taylor Tomlinson went through this. I mean, I know they've talked about this openly, you know, about the things that they've had to endure with their social media profile and their personality, and wanting to be accepted. And I believe they are now. And I think it took them trudging through a lot of shit. My thing I'm going to say is I don't know. I don't know how to get past this in the industry. I don't know why men choose to behave like this. And I think it's an unfortunate side effect of the anonymity of the internet and the horniness of the internet. I don't know. The only thing I can say is right now, I just think this is the path that is the most worn to get to that place. So if I were to say, I would say that that even though we are three older guys in the scene who are losing relevance very quickly, we have seen a lot. And you are here on this podcast not because of the fact that you are a physically attractive human. It's because you are a good comedian and you are a very strong artist.
Oh, thank you.
So I think let that be your compass. Believe in yourself. Keep pushing your jokes and your material over everything. I would say fuck those people. Ignore them. Just blow by it. Build your presence so big and become undeniable that you get to set the rules. I think that somebody like Taylor is like that. I think somebody like Samantha Bee got to that point. I think I see you as somebody who could do something like that. And unfortunately, right now, the internet is that cesspool, that river of shit that you just have to crawl through. And I wish the world were a different place. And I think a lot of people are trying to change that. And there are voices working in the opposite direction. But I think just keep going or don't. You will be okay. Like, seriously.
Jesus Christ.
Shut up.
Is the earnestness horn still reverberating?
No, I'm just saying, you cannot play this game. You cannot. You can go back to just putting up flyers for shows and delete your social media.
Yeah, true.
But I don't think that that's going to get you in this industry at this point where maybe you want to be.
Yeah.
So that is my message, is just fuck them. You are good at what you do, and the peers around you in this scene and who know you think you're really good at what you do.
Oh, that's nice.
And so I would just say, anyway, that's my advice. Now, earnestness horn, the drawbridge has gone down. You guys can feel free to attack me because I am near the Queen Mary, which is docked permanently on the dock at Long Beach. And you can go and stay in this thing. It's incredible.
Okay. All right. You've had the floor for a long time.
Silence.
You've had the floor for a long time.
I was
Is there
literally
anything you'd
talking
like to
for
say?
3.5 minutes.
Is there anything you'd like to say
it.
before I take a few snipes? Is there anything you'd like to say to that?
Shoot him in the ass.
I mean, it's not going to be funny, but I think the interesting piece of all of this is that there's an added layer for me of why this is so important, and that layer is that I am in month 7 of eating disorder recovery, and I've had an eating disorder for 15 years, and I finally now as an adult have pursued recovery. And so it's a really interesting balance to go through that and to learn how to change my relationship with food and my body and how I see myself, and also be going through this at the same time.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of like, I'm not just, a girl going through it. I'm like, no, I'm a girl who has had body image issues for the majority of her life and is just now being able to even start to peel away the layers of how to get through them. So it is like an interesting thing to do that. And like Ben said, I am pretty opinionated, and I try my best to be like as knowledgeable as possible. But I do like to talk about this stuff, and I like to call people out and talk about it on stage because I feel like people need to hear about it. So yeah, it's like I have to make a decision. It's like, if I want to do this, if I'm going to go into the fray, do I want to armor myself up and really be ready? Or do I kind of want to stand on the sideline a little bit, kind of like I have been, and just let it happen?
I think I can only speak from my point of view of addiction issues and things like that. And I'm speaking that I do not do this. I do not put my health first. I do this, and they know, teeter on the edge of breakdown a lot. Like I mean, for people who are listening, I went to the hospital last weekend with my heart doing weird shit. And I have no doubt that the stress of all of this, it makes my addiction issues worse. I think we all have to come to a point where we ask ourselves the question, is career more important over self? And if this is in any way destroying you and who you view yourself as being, maybe it isn't worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I also was just thinking when you were saying that, Morgan, I didn't know any of that. And as somebody who's like actively doing a one-man show about suicide and depression and mental illness, in my head, I just thought like, oh, be taking notes, Morgan. Like, this is a crazy experience you're having right now. Like, and maybe down the road, this can be fodder for like a really thoughtful piece on all of this that you decide you want to get into.
I got something to shamelessly plug if you'll let me on this.
Plug away.
Please, plug away.
Yeah, what is it?
So,
go ahead.
I have decided to start a podcast. I used to have a podcast that was like a very comedy focused podcast. I really just did it for clips. My heart wasn't in it. But now that I've been going through this, now that I feel a little more stable in my recovery, I'm starting a podcast called My Body, My Jokes. And it's going to be about this experience while also talking about like body image and being a woman in the entertainment industry, and talking to other comedians of all genders and backgrounds about like, how do you deal with hate? How do you deal with, body image while you're on stage? And I'm really excited. I've been putting a lot of work into it, and I've been outlining so much and just getting it ready. So that I'm hoping will be coming out maybe in this summer, July or something.
I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I'm only making my best guess, but I would say that's probably a fairly good way to increase the female listening base and viewer base.
I'm hoping, yeah.
Well, and fucking A, like way to this is also could be advice, but just you're writing what you know, and you're writing what you experience, and you turn this into your social media presence. And I mean, half the guys will be like, oh, this is a buzzkill. Like, I'm not, I don't want to do this.
Sure.
Like, and they'll tune out. And they'll tune out, so that I think talking about it and sort of being the person you want to be on the internet and like putting that out and hoping to find that in return, fucking awesome. And you don't have to like pretend to be the pretty girl with the quick fucking one-liner because that you think that's better for the algorithm. Just be and put out exactly what it is that you want. And that's going to be better art because it's authentic.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And perhaps this is a fantasy, but who knows? Maybe even one dude could learn like a shred of empathy listening to it and be like, oh, whoa, like, I guess this
is the part where I disagree with you.
Unlikely.
We're three guys. I don't believe that men and the 92% of them are all bad.
No, they're not.
I don't believe that. I believe you hear
No,
from...
me neither.
You hear from the very small percentage that are shitty. And I think you probably have a pretty like solid listening base of people who do stay. I think it's easy even for guys. Like it's very easy for guys to look at your listening base and go, oh, well, that's because you're an attractive woman and whatever. That's why you have for male comics to do that. But it's also really easy for you with your own views of yourself and your own insecurities, maybe over your art, to also assume the same thing. Yeah, it's 92%, but you have a lot of followers. They're not all there just because of that. A lot of them are there because you are talented and because you do have a viewpoint.
Yeah.
Keep pushing that out.
And I think decent people just probably like watch and enjoy and don't chime in. Maybe like whatever.
Oh yeah, because people who
like
like you don't tend to like make it a known thing unless it's like a really funny joke or a really cool clip, or you're like most of the people that like you just kind of they like your thing, they follow you, they go to your show, but they're not the ones in your comment section.
Right. They're just being normal people. This is all good stuff. I do need to attack Ben's answer a little bit because he buttered you up. Like clearly,
I know,
and so like that was just sort of very.
That was an earnestness horn, so that wasn't buttering up or pandering.
But the earnestness horn has ended. It was just
no. But I'm saying that my thoughts came under the guise of an earnestness horn.
The diplomatic immunity
it was all over the place. He said you might have to endure it, but maybe don't. He like there was it was
I said
so
that at
wishy-washy.
the end, you fucking asshole. I said that at the end, you fucking dipshit.
And you don't get a win.
It's an absolute 180.
By walking through the first cafeteria of advice and putting everything on your tray and saying, "Here's my answer." That's just
no.
That's not
you called me old and you've got a first cafeteria reference?
Just a second. I said that this was the state of the industry. There was always the choice to not do it. That was all I was saying. And you are digging because basically what you told her was, hey, you know what? Maybe you could block them all. Block them.
You have one voice and one impression, and I'm tired of it. It's that.
And it's a perfect Adam. But you've got to have another one.
You have one speed, Adam. You have one speed. Go. That's it. I was clearly the better actor on the show. Everybody knew it. Everybody.
God.
Now it's just.
Oh my God.
Okay, Morgan. we can't do this all day because this
Andrew
will kill.
Andrew,
our
what was
friendship.
your answer? Don't water this.
Don't water the garden that you don't want to grow.
Basically,
would be
Adam's
my
answer. Basically,
thesis.
Adam's answer.
Except
My
mine was
answer
first. Except mine was first. Adam's
Mine
was
blocked
them.
liberally. Any toxicity.
Adam wants Morgan to sit there for 17 hours a day clicking block on assholes.
It's fine.
No, just don't even give him that. Don't
Mine
even
was
give
that
him the
if
block.
it bothers you, get it out of your
And
social
I'm
media
saying
sphere. And
earnestness
Ben
horn.
said everything under the sun.
And then
said
Ben
4
ended
minutes
it with,
worth
I
of
don't
stuff.
know.
Right.
Oh my God!
So choose-
isn't that
choose whatever
crazy?
Ben
Morgan,
said in the 4
oh my
minutes
God! Isn't that
that he
crazy? A guy who said he doesn't know. Oh my God!
I know, he admitted it.
Every
Oh my
guy should be
God.
opinionated. I said I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
You
know.
said so many words that, yeah, I bet I don't know was in there somewhere. But it's
I
just like
fucking hate
when you say
anyway,
all the
Morgan,
words.
it's back to you. I think you're wonderful, and I think you're a very good person. And I've done, I would say, more shows with you than anybody.
It's so desperate.
Ben, it's
my
sad.
God.
It's
so
sad,
transparent.
Ben.
So, Morgan, that's our advice. Take it or leave any of it.
Yes, exactly.
Of course.
We can all agree that the competitive part aside, we were all being very genuine in
Sure.
our advice. But there can only be one winner, and that's the problem. So that's on you.
Okay, so I have to choose.
Yeah.
Okay, so to recap, Andrew used a lot of cool words like garden and top.
And top.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
And then Adam told me to cover my entire body and block everyone
Yes.
out of in the world.
Yep.
And then Ben started a TED Talk and told me that I'm beautiful and hilarious and funny, but he doesn't know what I should do. He recognizes that this is a tough situation. I think, I don't know. I feel like I resonate with what Andrew said though about like I know water that garden. It's like such a silly metaphor, but it's kind of true. It's like I can still do my thing and do my comedy and not interact with these people while also talking about how unfair it is, but not directly talk to them and give them more ammo. And I feel like that's kind of where I'm at. Like I want people to know what I'm going through and I want to talk about it and be open about it and talk to other female comedians about it. But I also don't want to give them permission to keep doing it by interacting with them.
I want you to know, Morgan, your career is never going to go anywhere if you keep making choices like this. And this is what I'm talking about. You're a shit comic. You've been a shit comic for a long
Let
time.
her finish talking, you pig.
No,
Let
it comes
her finish
across so
talking,
much
you
more casual. The
fucking pig.
fact that Ben is leaning diagonally across this, like he's in a therapy
I'm just
session.
bullshit.
Yeah.
It smacks of a
It's
type
like you're
of
in a green
jealousy.
room with him right now, and
It's
he's
the
just
problem with this
He's the
poison.
older male
you know?
comic that's
I
like,
mean,
I don't
poison.
know, maybe you shouldn't do that joke. It doesn't really sound really good.
Look, you're
So
beautiful,
stupid.
okay?
It's
I'll just
dumb,
say it.
dude.
Yep. Yep.
You know what it is? You're showing weakness, and you can't do that in this industry.
Ben's wilting.
So Andrew's advice, huh? Andrew's the winner. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Andrew
yeah,
killed it,
Adam,
man.
Ben, can I just say, earnestness, Hornron, eat my butt. Both of you. Eat my butt.
You know you can get put in the Rift City Briggs for that, for calling a
Yeah, that's
false
misuse of an
earnestness.
earnestness horn. You will get locked up for that.
It's like calling 911 when there's no emergency. Well,
What?
thanks, Morgan. I hope, no, more than anything, I hope that whatever the advice turns out to be, that you do find, because I know that you're not alone in this. I have
That's what I said.
a lot of female friends who
I said that.
who deal with this as well. So I hope you do find whatever that path is for that getting better. I hope.
Yeah,
you do track
earnestness
it down.
horn again. There's 3, but only 2 were actually legitimate. You, like we said, you're fucking awesome. You're great. I've already lost, so you know it's true. Now, when I say it, I've already lost.
Yeah.
You are.
It's sincere.
Thank you for doing this pod. We hope that helped you in some small way. And, a little bird told me producer Ron actually has some ideas as well. And we're going to put those into one of our Act 4s. So follow us on Patreon. We'll be talking about that with producer Ron on Act 4. Also, if you're one of our fans, especially if you're a female listener, go follow Morgan. She's great. If you're a male listener, follow Morgan and be a cool, good guy in the world. We could use more of those, especially online. That is the episode. We are going to go to Act 3. We're going to take a quick stand-up break, and we're going to listen to some jokes from Morgan at our live show.
Yeah.
And we will be back with the third act. Morgan, thanks again. We really appreciate having you on the pod.
Thanks for having me.
You rule. Yeah. Third actors, get ready. It's time. Oh, I can't wait. Stay tuned.
How's it going, Denver? Hell yeah. I like that you guys are having a good time. I'm having a weird week. I just found out that I can't have kids. Yeah, I watched a baby shit up its back. And I was like, no, I can't do that. When it defies physics, I think I'm good. You know what I mean? I snorted an entire pack of birth control after I watched that. I did. A line a day keeps the fetus away, ladies, just so you know. Tuck that in for later, okay? I know it's true because I read it on TikTok, so it has to be true. No, I really just don't like kids. Kids really scare me, especially post-pandemic kids, kids that were born after 2020. Have you seen these gremlins walking around? Oh my God. I was going through DIA. I saw this little boy, couldn't have been more than 2 years old, right? He's wearing Timberland boots, a snapback, and then has a binky in his mouth. We're breeding fuckboys now. That's where society is going. His first words are gonna be Matt Rife. You know what I mean? That's where we're going, and I don't like that. I don't want to deal with that. I was bullied a lot growing up, and I think maybe that's why I have an aversion to having kids, because that stuff sticks with you. I'm 28 years old, and I can't stop thinking about my childhood bully. Mostly because she's married to my dad, but I'm trying. I didn't go to therapy this week, I skipped it. So this is me. No, I love my mom. I'm not trying to be a jerk about my mom this whole set, only 5 minutes of it. But I love her, but her family heirlooms suck, okay? I can't pawn bulimia. What am I gonna do with that, right? Best I can do is charge an 8th grader for a tutorial. That's where I'm at. Oh, I'm sorry, did that hit home, Denver? Oh, a lot of bulimics in the crowd tonight. Let's talk after the show, we'll swap tips. Get some hand sandy on them fingies. We'll do it.
And we are back with the third act. Welcome, third actors. We love that you only have time for 5 minutes of podcast a week and you make it this 5 minutes. We appreciate you. Welcome back to the show.
You guys just sit in the back of the Ford Theater in the balcony with your pistol cocked, ready to shoot the hat off the president of podcasts. And that's what you do. You wait till the third act. I love you.
Well, insane, but apt. Insane, but apt. I'll give it to you. Big thanks to our guest, Morgan Gallo. Thank you so much for guesting and for just sharing a slice of your daily hell with us and for letting us give you advice.
Again, people who are listening, especially our female listeners, please go follow Morgan Gallo.
If you're cool. Yeah, not if you're lame.
Cool, all cool. Anybody that is cool that listens to this, go support Morgan. She is so funny and so talented and a great guest. What a day. Andrew, I've noticed that you are no longer jet lagged. You are moving. You're shaking.
Bopping,
there's a musicality.
Yeah.
There's a
Can you hit us with
musicality to his every move.
I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
A musicality. That's just my arthritis, Adam. It's the creaking of my bones and tendons.
Musicality,
sorry.
I meant a thin wind instrument sound coming out of him as he.
I sound like a squeeze box going up and down the stairs, so like an old West accordion.
Right. Human reed instrument, Andrew Orvidal. Come on.
Nice. See?
Plugs.
Vintage.
Yeah, baby.
Cork it, put it in your basement, sip it in 30 years. Vintage.
Who's got plugs? I guess I'll go first because I've got to. I'll start it. For people in Denver right now, if you're listening to this as it airs, July 5th, Friday, July 5th, Punk Rock Saves Lives. It's going to be that whole weekend at Ratio Overland, not the one in Rhino, but the one in Overland just off of Broadway, the new big location. They're going to be
under the highway. Get there.
No, it's not under the highway.
It's adjacent. It's close.
It's highway adjacent.
It's not. That's very confusing.
It's
very confusing.
It's there. It is a beautiful location. Punk Rock Saves Lives does a lot of great work in the community. 3 days of bands, but spells. We are playing Friday evening. So get your tickets to come and see us. Come and support a great cause. Come and dancy, prancy with your favorite idiots in patterns. So come on down. Tickets will be in the show notes. Who's next? Who's got it?
I'm next, and I got news for you. I am fucking working this July. It starts on July 10th. I'm in a place that I didn't even know existed. It's called Red Cliff, Colorado. You ever heard of it? I haven't.
Never heard of it.
I'm booked there.
Maybe you got
15 miles from
scammed.
Vail.
Maybe you've been online scammed.
We'll see. It's 15 miles from Vail. Kay McLaughlin's opening. It's going to be a fun, weird mountain show. So if you're mountain folk, I'll be in the mountains. Come on out. The next day, July 11th, I'll be at the Denver Comedy Underground headlining. I won't be doing a headlining set in Denver anytime soon besides that. So if you want to see the new hour that I'm working on, come to that. And then Chicago people, July 19th, it all goes down at the Lincoln Lodge. Friday, July 19th. I'd love to see Chicago heads in the house. It'd be very cool to see the Grolix fans out in Chicago.
Hell yeah. I'm also working on my new hour. You can catch me at Chain Reaction Brewery right in the middle of Denver on July 11th. But we also have an insane Grolix show in July. Every Grolix is great, but this lineup, whoa. Buckle up.
I'll hit him with
Adam, tell him who's on
Mandy Kay, who's so funny. I just worked with her recently, and I was like, holy shit, how have you not done the Grolix? And I rectified that error immediately. Jordan Dahl's in town. He's going to be on the show.
Denver favorite, now New York City's own.
And listen to this headliner, Joe Mandy, headlining the July Grolix. So get your tickets in the show notes. This is going to be a very good show. I'm excited for it.
If you don't know who Joe Mandy is, he's a writer on your favorite show. I can pretty much promise you that.
And a tremendous comedian. July 27th.
Insane comedian.
Grolix.
I'm just going to run with it. I'm going to take it today. I want to be the paper boy who throws this rolled up sweet piece of news on your doorstep.
Paperboy, the video game on Nintendo, when you'd plunk that fucker right into the mailbox, or a dog would come running up trying to bite you on your bike, and you just hit him with the fucking news. I love Paperboy. They had tornadoes when you got
that was
to
the dog.
Totally. That's the perfect Paperboy.
Yeah, and there's like a cloud of bees that chased you, or was that 720, the skateboarding game?
Progressed.
No,
the week progressed. You get to Friday, and then you get this. Sunday is the last day. What a game.
Man, according to that game, being a Paperboy, just a really hazardous job. Just up there with...
What was up there with third shift 7-Eleven employee?
Delta
it was
Force.
One of the most dangerous jobs. I want to say a big thanks to Mike Henderson for your help recording the live show. As always, big thanks to our leader, producer, Ron Doyle, for helping make this show so possible. The theme music brought to you by the wonderfully big-hearted Charlie Continental. We love you, Charlie. Follow us on socials, all of them, at Grolix Comedy. And if you don't already, please follow us, support us on our Patreon, patreon.com/Grolix Saves. Ad-free episodes, all kinds of bonus content, fourth act, boy crazy. Get your bonus materials, more us. That's what you need, because you're going to want that.
We did a birthday shout-outs recently, Ben and I. It was almost 30 minutes long, but it was one of the funniest things we've done in a long time.
It was really fun. You can get those birthday shout outs, but you're also just going to want to see a little bit more of us. It'll get you through, because next week we're going to take a little summer vacay, but we'll be back with a brand new episode in 2 weeks. But next week, stay tuned. We're going to have a favorite. We're going to replay that. Plus, we may drop a boy crazy in your lap pretty soon here. Word
out on the streets is the boys are talking. Boys are talking.
It's one of my favorite classic rock songs. The boys are talking.
The boys are talking. The boys are talking together. In the meantime, though, my favorite song is about to play now. Play us out, Charlie!